and it just does it for me. So now I have full control of my application. That's quick voice formatting. There's also special medical formatting rules. So when you buy the medical edition and you go up on your Dragon bar to Tools and Formatting, you have a whole bunch of things. Now, as you see, each one of these tabs represents a different formatting options, and I'm happy to say that they're specific to the medical industry. See, like capitalization, some physicians want code blue always capitalized, some don't. Numbers, units, and dates. Maybe you want milliliter to be written out, maybe you want the little m, the big L. Things like common medical abbreviations, miscellaneous. So again, Dragon was designed to work the way that you work. There's no need to change your style of dictation. You can just say, you know what, this is how I like to work. This is my style of dictating. Do it. That's the beauty of Dragon Medical. Let's take a look at some other ways clinicians can use Dragon Medical to increase productivity. Customizing your vocabulary. Now, as you just saw with the formatting and the special formatting rules, a lot of the work is already done for us. But we also have the ability to customize our vocabulary exactly like we want it. Let's show you some examples. Start dictation. Blood pressure. New line. ACL. New line. ASAP. New line. All right, so those, of course, being already in our system. Some physicians want BP to be written out, some want blood pressure, some want ACL, some want it written out. Well, again, that's just a matter of checking the right box. But we do have scenarios where, we want to say one thing and have another thing appear, and that is possible. A good example is, these referring physicians that we're dealing with. Sometimes, they have long names, or sometimes their names are hard to pronounce. Whatever the case is, we can customize Dragon to say and write exactly what we want. A good example would be Dr. Stetson. You see, I said Dr. Stetson, but it wrote out Dr. Jenna Stetson, MD. A great example of how we can customize our vocabulary and use that to our benefit. Now let's move on. It wouldn't be right to show you a demonstration of Dragon Medical 10 without talking about and without showing you one of its key features, which is hidden mode. Now, hidden mode allows Dragon to work in the background. So basically, you're dictating, all of the text that you're dictating is being stored into the background. The reason that this is so important is because you can throw Dragon into a hidden mode, and then you can navigate your computer freely. You can switch between applications. Let's take an example of you're dictating into your EMR system, and while you're dictating into that system, you realize that, you need to look up a specific x-ray, or you need to look up a drug name or something like that. Well, this means you can continue to dictate while searching around and moving around these different applications. When you're ready, you can have Dragon transfer to the text into any application or EMR system that you have. So I don't know if you remember earlier, but I programmed one of the buttons on my Philips SpeechMic Air to automatically throw Dragon in hidden mode. I also programmed a button to transfer the text automatically. This means that just by a push of a button, I can be in hidden mode. Now, you probably didn't notice, but I've got a little select and say indicator on my Dragon bar that just turned from gray to yellow. A visual indication letting me know that, hey, you're in hidden mode, you can dictate freely. This means that everything that I start to dictate, and I'll start talking now, the patient is a 31-year-old male who presents with back pain in the lumbar area since injuring his back 3 days ago, period. The patient has been very stiff in this area and has had difficulty walking, period. Now, during this process, I don't need to give focus to any particular application. I've got the little plus sign on my select and say indicator letting me know that I have text. But of course, I can continue to dictate. Let's say that I wanted to open Excel for some reason or any other application. The program is saving that text in the background. Lungs are clear, period. Cardiovascular exam shows the regular rate and rhythm, period. The spine is tender in the lumbar area and thoracic area, period. Significant pain in the lumbar area with leg movements, but no radicular pain in the lower extremities, period. Motor function in the lower extremities is excellent. So I'm talking, whatever I'm doing on my computer, it's storing it in the background. Now, when I get to an application, whether my EMR or Microsoft Word or the internet, whatever it is, my text is there waiting for me. So I can either say transfer text, or again, you can utilize this speech mic just by pressing a button and having all of that text transfer automatically. Now that is a very neat feature, and that's called the hidden mode. Now time for some fun stuff. This is the part of the demonstration where I like to introduce a little bit of flavor. By flavor, I'm talking about custom commands, also known as macros. What they allow you to do is automate single or multi-step repetitive tasks, basically. Okay? There are 4 types of macros available in Dragon Medical. The first type is text and graphics. Now, these are the easiest to create, and what they do is they insert a block of text and or graphics into any application that you want. We're going to go ahead and show you an example of that. Start dictation. Medical header. September 4th, 2009. New paragraph. Tracy Miller. New line. Dear Dr. Miller, new line. Patty Dempsey is a pleasant 26-year-old white female who is here today for injuries she has sustained from a motor vehicle accident which occurred on September 20th, 2008, period. Patient states that she was the driver of a 2006 Mercedes-Benz when she was rear-ended by a speeding car in Austin, Texas, period. Patient states that the ambulance did not arrive to the scene, nor did she go to the hospital, period. However, a week later she followed up with Dr. Christopher Fox, whom she is finding great benefit from, period, new line. The patient currently has occasional radicular symptoms affecting the lower right extremities, period. The cardiomedia silhouette is unremarkable for an AP film with no marked cardiomegaly, period. Both oblique and lateral views were taken today of the patient's right knee. There were no benign masses indicated, no microcalcifications noted, period. The patient is to return in 2 weeks for a follow-up visit, period, new line. Medical signature. All right, let's scroll up here. What we have is a medical report, right? In this one, I used 3 macros. The first one was medical header. When I said medical header, I got my header, I got my pictures, my address, all that fun stuff. I then dictated the date. I then said Tracy Miller. It put up Dr. Tracy Miller's information, her address, her specialty, all that fun stuff. And then I continued with my dictation. At the bottom of the dictation, I said medical signature. So as you see, in under a minute, I was able to produce a full letter with all of my header and footer, signature, all of that fun information. Now that is the advantage of using a text and graphic macro. In addition to text and graphic macros, we also have macro recorders. What that does is it records simple or complex series of events on your computer. For example, if I'm dictating this letter and I don't want to close and save it, I can create a macro that says maybe like wrap it up. That will automatically close it and save it where I want to. There's also macros called step-by-step macros. Now, these types of macros can be used to activate menu commands, keystroke commands, launch applications, type text, control your microphone. Hey, lots of great examples of step-by-step macros. The one that comes off the top of my head is, let's say you want to log into your EMR system. You can create a step-by-step macro that says log me in. What that can do is open up your EMR system, type in your user ID, press tab, type in your password, log in, and you're ready to go. So incorporating dictation and custom commands, you start to see now, okay, I can start saving a lot of time.